Welcome back to the Marine Corps Movie Minute, where we are discussing the movies of the Marine Corps 1 minute at a time. We have reached minute 74. 74 begins with Gunny wondering what went wrong with himself, with the Corps, and it ends with a little bit of a back rub. Billy, how you doing? I'm shit. I'm doing great.
This better stay in.
Oh, it'll be in.
Billy are good.
Perry, how are you today?
Hi, brother. How are
Oh my
you?
God, that's hilarious.
Well, we've already covered how you're doing. I shouldn't ask. That sounds redundant at this point.
All right, let's get into. I'm just I'm so in touch with my inner self after watching these few minutes.
Oh, I'm telling you.
I had to get in touch. I had to get in touch with me.
Did you?
Yeah, because I look in the mirror every morning. I'm good enough. I'm smart enough, and gosh darn it, people like me. I can't love another if I can't love myself first.
That's it's not bad rules of thumb.
So speaking of love, Gunny is having a loving conversation with his ex-wife.
Mm-hmm.
He wanted to know what went wrong with him. And he said in the Corps and that's a good follow-up because to him, the Gunny and the Corps are one and the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, because notice we hardly ever call him Tom or Tom Highway. We call him Gunny.
He's Gunny. Yep.
Yeah, he is the Gunny. He's the type of guy that if you saw him after he retired, you'd still call him Gunny.
Yeah, absolutely.
The simple answer she gives him is, it's not a simple answer. There's no right and wrong. She's like, that's, and she kind of highlights that's one of the problems with him is everything has to fit into that worldview of right and wrong.
Yeah.
They couldn't have just grown apart, or there couldn't have been like, I love you, but I cannot live with you because of all these other circumstances or whatever. To him, It was either everything was right until it wasn't, and now it's wrong. And there must have been something that made it wrong, so let me make it right.
Yeah. How do I fix it?
Yeah. And and he's a simple guy, and he's a problem solver. He improvises, adapts, and overcomes. He's trying to do that in his relationship, probably 20 years too late. Now he does take a little trip down memory lane. He is sitting next to her on the couch, or he's on not really on the couch. He's more like on the armrest near her.
Yeah, he's prowling. He's like a big cat on the Serengeti. He's closing in on the prey.
Oh yeah, he's definitely making himself a little more comfortable, let's get a little closer, that type of thing.
Yeah, I'm convinced every baby ever made started with a back rub.
Yeah, how about a back rub? It's a tried and true, tactic.
Yeah, man, there's a reason why it works.
But he's disarming her first, honestly, with like you said, a meaningful, mutual, nurturing conversation, and he's also trying to get her thinking about not apparently the good times, but the old times, and he was going down memory lane. He said he drove by some old not apartments, like a
Rooms.
hotel. Rooms, yeah, he said rooms. He didn't specify. I assume like a hotel they got for the weekend or something like that, or on their honeymoon. And he's like, man, they're small.
Yeah.
And she said, well, you know what they say, everything shrinks with age.
Yeah.
Is that what everybody says?
No. I've noticed as I've gotten older, I've gotten bigger.
Yeah, I was literally that was basically where I was going with that.
There's a reason we're friends.
I find that quite to be the opposite.
Yeah.
I will say my midsection has gotten a little bit bigger since.
Yeah. I'm thinking all the rooms are bigger. I just fit in them a little bit more snug.
Yeah. Well, I would say that's exactly it. Everything shrinks because we're bigger.
Yeah.
I have done that, myself. I actually had taken my daughter on a field trip one time and didn't realize because I thought they were gone. I drove by my old apartments from when I was in the Marine Corps. I had actually went and got my own place for, a few months. I forget for how long, but living off base as a Lance Corporal, that's a no-no, but did it anyways. I all of a sudden I turned a corner. I was like, oh my God, those are my old apartments. I didn't realize it. And I took a quick look and I'm like, They are small, and they were, old. They were old when I lived in them,
Yeah.
So when I was driving back, I mentioned to my daughter on the field, when we were on the field trip, that I found my old apartments. She wanted me to see them. I said, we're going to go right past them. And so when we passed them, I said, there they are right there. She goes, oh, that's it? Oh, they're depressing.
Also true.
Yeah. So does everything get depressing with age?
Yeah. That's funny. It's depressing.
Real quick, I tried to say, does everything shrink? I try to just verify. Is this a saying? Everything shrinks with age. And the only thing that came up is that, why do we shrink? People lose people lose height because the disc
Oh,
between the vertebrae in the spine dehydrate and compress. So we basically shrink with age. Do people shrink with age? Men can gradually lose an inch between the ages of 30 to 70, and women can lose about 2 inches. After the age 80, it's possible for both to lose even more. So there you go. So yes, everything does shrink with age. Literally, we do.
yeah.
As human beings. Human.
Human.
Anyways, he asked her what they want out of life, and she said, "Well, we talked about getting that avocado farm. Now, can you see Gunny settling down and raising avocados, or growing avocados?"
No.
No. So did we want an avocado farm, or did she want?
She, I'm gonna go with I'm going with he was probably just nodding his head, having a beer.
Right. Well, she didn't mention a barbecue, which anybody can get a barbecue at pretty much any place. Like,
Yeah.
we used to have barbecues on the barracks catwalk.
Yeah. Yep.
What are those things called? The little portable ones.
Yeah, the little, yeah, oh, yeah, 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 yeah. I know
I
exactly what
can't,
yep.
there's a name for them. I can't think of it, but
The little hibachis or whatever.
yeah, little hibachis. There you go. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, you can have a barbecue anywhere. That's fine. I'll go down and get them a hibachi real quick if they want.
Yeah.
Just save their marriage.
Yeah.
But yeah, avocado. I cannot picture Gunny working on an avocado farm, owning an avocado farm. That's about as a harebrained idea as your emu farm you were going to get after we got out of the Corps.
That was not me. That was llamas.
Yeah, but
Asshole. You dickhead. That was my parents. That was my parents. They had guard llamas. I had nothing to do with that.
Yeah, but for some reason I kept calling them emus.
Yeah, I know, and everybody else did too. And I had to correct them. I was like, "That's not an emu. It's a llama."
And I kept joking about, God damn it, I'm gonna have to, when I get out of the Corps, I'm gonna be stuck working on Perry's emu farm.
Oh God, I was actually talking to Mom about that the other day. I was like, "Yeah, the guys used to think that it was emu farm."
And every time I see the ilovealpacas.com, who don't sponsor us, by the way, I would always like, oh, there's Perry's get rich quick scheme.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember everybody was like, "Your parents do what?"
Guard llamas.
Guard llamas, yeah. It's a real thing, man. They use them to guard livestock. It's
Yeah. Well, I play Minecraft, and they got llamas, and they're nasty on that. If you get too close to them, they spit on you.
oh yes, they do that here too. Well, some of them, well, they did. My folks haven't had those things in 10, 15 years. I think they got rid of them.
Yeah, I went to people, farmers use all that stuff because I went to a local farm here where you need strawberries and do all that stuff, and they have a donkey. If you want to go pet the other animals, they got to distract the donkey because he'll get mad. It keeps away the coyotes and the foxes and stuff like that because they're kind of territorial. They were saying, and
Right.
it'll protect the sheep and the goats that they have there. And he's mean, so they have to pull the dog. I mean, they're fine with the workers, but any of the kids that come by, they're not too nice to them. So they distract them. They go feed them food away from the kids when when they're petting the goats and stuff. So
It's funny. Hee-haw! Hunt some 4-year-old.
You know what? Speaking of hee-haw, that's exactly how I was picturing Gunny working on his avocado farm with the straw hat and suspenders and all that.
Oh yeah.
like,
Oh, the tractor.
like an extra on Hee Haw,
Yeah.
popping up out of the corn, telling corny jokes.
With a piece of straw hanging out of his mouth.
Yeah, exactly. So he moves in for the kill. I will say after kind of smirking and getting her laughing. It's back rub time. Hey, how you feeling, babe? Oh, just peachy. And he's kind of. See, the thing is, you can give somebody a back rub without making it like. You could rub somebody's shoulders. Like I was just joking today. Like if you go to like the haircut place I go to sometimes, they give you a neck massage. And I was joking that some of the ladies there do a really good one and like it feels so good, and others feel like they're about to murder you. Like like they're just taking every anger they have out on you. And I'm like, so I mean, you could do a neck massage and have it not be anything whatsoever. This is the opposite of that. I mean, he's
he has designs upon this lady.
his mouth and nose are about a half an inch from her ear and neck. He's but she's acting like it's feeling good. She must have the magic touch.
Yeah.
So
all the right spots.
Yep. But he steps in it a little bit because he gets her talking about stuff that set her off and that she didn't care for, which is kind of like what went wrong with their marriage about him. Every goddamn war that came down, he'd volunteer for.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'd say you could hear the tone in her voice kind of change.
Yeah.
She's not happy about it. I mean, she's still enjoying the massage, but you can hear that the tone of, ooh, that feels good. Yeah, we're kind of having a nice, oh, you're opening up to me, to then like, here's a little bit something that's a little more, not passionate, but maybe a little angry about,
Yeah.
And it hasn't quite set her off yet because she's still kind of like,
she's on the path to the dark side.
she's enjoying the massage, but she's definitely, like he put a little seed.
Yeah.
Probably I'd say a negative seed, a bad avocado.
Oh, yeah.
Grow.
Different kind of seed. A thought seed.
Yeah. So yeah, it's gonna go. Well, I mean, it's just more of them in a room talking. We got several minutes of this.
Oh no, I say we make them stay.
Oh, I gotta know what happens. I mean, this is getting good, hot and heavy. All right,
Some 1980s Clint Eastwood movie. Yeah.
Yeah, it's getting a little. I don't know. Well, what do you say we jump to the next minute and talk about that then?
Let's do that.
All right, we'll just ask everybody to come back on Friday. Hopefully, we will wrap this week up. I think we will. I could be wrong. We'll wrap up the week by wrapping up this meaningful heart-to-heart that these exes are engaging in.
Yeah. Thank you for joining us at Touchy-Feely Week on Movie Minute.
Yeah, this is why we didn't have a guest these 2 weeks. Is because Perry and I really need to get in touch, in tune, and mutually respect and communicate with each other and nurture.
As somebody used to say, get in touch with their female side.
Exactly. Yeah, we're fine. If you want to say we're getting in touch with our feminine side, it's very not. Holy shit! I almost said it's very 90s of us. Hey, it's the 90s. It's a very 2020s of us.
Yeah.
We're very we're open to showing a sensitive side.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Yeah, we're sensitive dudes. Like I'm not afraid to cry. Usually it's when I stub my toe, but I'm not afraid to cry.
Either that or the Avengers movies.
I was just gonna say, or all of Endgame. I'm so happy and sad at the same time. I'm crying like clapping. Oh, I knew he was worthy.
Yes, the hammer.
Oh my god, that was the best part ever.
That was pretty dope.
That was the one part I didn't know I wanted, and it was just so perfect.
Yep.
But since we're on Endgame, let's endgame this minute and ask everybody to come back on Friday. And just remember, Perry, just like this podcast, everything shrinks with age. I don't know what that means. All right, never mind. Let's just go work on your freaking emu farm. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, after this, I'm quitting this podcast. I'm gonna start your goddamn emu farm.
Yeah. We're gonna grow avocados and emus.
Exactly. We're gonna grow avocados to feed to the emus and watch hee haw.
Yeah. The love tractor.